So hi everybody, we are here in our Gemara shir and we have 5 minutes left. So we decided to have a little bit of a ashkafic idea that is extremely important to share, Be'ezras Hashem. So everybody feels, the upcoming war between America and Iran should hopefully be the last one, very likely, and we all hope for Mashiach to come. Besides all the other simonim that are here, very, very tangible. And we also have this week's parsha, and you're going to see the connection soon. The Parshas Mishpatim, about how each and every detail of our lives should be according to Torah. In other words, last week's parsha was the general idea, was the wow of koilos, ubrokim. There were the voices and the thunder and the lightning and the shofar and the actual realization that Hashem is the only one. Now the Torah is breaking it down. Ve'ela mishpatim, each and every movement and each and every thought of a Yid should be directed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what we call hashkafa. And the closer Mashiach, unfortunately, there's more and more confusion amongst the Jewish nation. I'm not mekatrig. On the contrary, I'm coming to say how good we are and how people are thirsty to hear the words of Hashem. But when there's a lot of thirst to hear the words of Hashem, the Novi says, "Kimayim liyam mechasim." I saw a word, yeah, it's like people drinking from the water of the sea. The water of the sea are not really satiating; they're not quenching your thirst. They're actually salty, and you may be drinking the wrong kind of water. And why am I saying all this? What am I relating to? Unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, we have a lot of messages nowadays in WhatsApps, and I mean, I get WhatsApps, I have to admit. I don't have TikTok and all the other things. I don't have it even if I wanted to, I don't. But you get a lot of messages today, and some of them are amazing and inspirational. Some of them are seemingly inspirational and very nice and sound very frum, rabbis with a nice black kippah. But when you realize that some of the people who speak nowadays, I don't mean the great rabbanim, I don't mean the big mashpim or famous chas v'sholem. Sometimes you have kind of people are sort of anonymous, and they say things that sound very nice, and they sound very frum, and they sound very convincing. But then when you actually check the sources or you ask your Rav, you see that they're wrong. I'll give you one example. And the example is that I'll give you at least one example. Example number one. Yeah, we were all very, very shocked this past Hanukkah, and I think the entire Jewish nation was at a very bittersweet Hanukkah because of what happened in Australia. And then there was a case in Australia, and I'm Khalila not criticizing the actual people that it happened to. People afterwards in different places, there was at least one family who felt that putting the Chanukiah, the Hanukkah candles, the menorah outside created antagonism, and their Muslim neighbors or whoever were against it. And then they hid the menorah. And afterwards, people said, no, you should openly light your menorah. Even the Christian neighbor said, you should have the menorah out there, show your Jewish pride, and actually have your menorah out there, and don't be scared, and it's their problem. Your anti-Semitic neighbors, they should deal with it. It sounds so nice, and it became so viral, and that was the feeling in the air, that if you're Jewish, you have to light your menorah outside in spite of the danger. It sounds amazing, and it swept away. It was viral. Many people saw this, and I am so sorry. The Gemara in Shabbos and Shulchan Aruch say the exact opposite. Shulchan Aruch says if you live in a anti-Semitic environment, Eva, you're going to create an animosity, not even pikuach nefesh, an animosity between the goyim, you hide your menorah. That's why a lot of Hasidic people nowadays have their menorah on the table under any circumstances. There's also hidden reasons. So again, just because it sounds very nice and very interesting, and sometimes even spoken by young, enthusiastic, pure person, doesn't mean that that's the truth. There are many other examples. I saw just recently a Rav was again young and sounds very enthusiastic. Again, maybe it was only part of a big talk, so I'm not. I'm trying to be careful here. He was saying, maybe he was trying to sound very new age and very with it and very, convincing for the less from people. I'm not sure. He said, in marriage, the man is the only one that has to give everything to the wife and not the other way around. First of all, and he says it with such enthusiasm and is such pathos. Like, first of all, where did he take it from? I don't think any normal marriage counselor would agree with that. But secondly, just against halacha. There are halachas there. People, it's just because it feels right or feels new age or feels Jewish. We have halacha, we have Shulchan Aruch, we have Gemara, we have the ways of Hashem. The Shulchan Aruch says there's a lot of things the husband owes his wife. Not owes, I don't mean in a bad way. Husband has obligations towards his wife, and there are many obligations of a wife towards her husband. It's a Gemara in Ksubas. It's a halacha. We live by halacha. Just because something sounds nice and it's being said to so many people, and then you have the AI background with all the graphics, doesn't mean that it's right. And so many messages, hidden and revealed, are not always in line with halacha. So next time you watch your video, unless the person brings good sources to what he says, and unless you are in touch with the Rav that you should be in touch with the Rav that's a Talmid Chacham, and you ask him, is that so? Should I light them there outside? Should the woman not be obligated to do anything to her husband? I mean, v'chula v'chula. Many examples. I promised I'll keep it short, but the idea is let's come down. Let's not just follow any fad, any idea, even if it's said by religious people. Let's follow the ways of Hashem. The Mishpatei Torah. Hashem gave us Torah Misinai. We don't need any other ideas from the outside, even if they sound nice, and even if they sound as if they are from the inside, they're really not. And may we be'emes greet Mashiach very soon. And thank you for my amazing friends over here who encouraged me to say this. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. And hatzlacha to everybody. May we see Mashiach very soon with the right hashkafa and the right mindset. Thank you, and a good Shabbos.